welcome to Wedding Mayhem.
Whoop-de-doo.
You're like, hoping was, I'm sick of you. What are you sick of?
You.
Me?
No, we're saying about the term narcissist. It's thrown around so lightly.
Yeah.
Sharon basically just called me one.
Oh, really? Well, as I said, I was called that by my ex-wife.
Oh,
constantly.
spoiler.
I still don't know why.
Hey, Jill. Sorry, I don't even know her name.
So we better introduce the man that's talking to us. This is Paul.
Hello.
Hello.
Or Pablo.
Oh, Pablo. Yeah.
I'm half Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
The better half, yeah.
Are you really?
Are you really?
I think that's the English bit from this down and the Spanish is up.
Ah.
What?
half.
Oh, right, okay. I'm just like,
Yeah, so welcome to Wedding Mayhem.
he's got English feet.
and due to name, we've gone straight in
Yeah,
with
sorry.
the mayhem. So you are Manor Wedding Cars.
Cars, yes.
Perfect. Okay. And basically, what do you do?
Well, I've got lots of cars and I drive them.
You haven't
for
just got lots of cars.
Yes.
How
Well,
many-
Well, mainly it's actually just one that I drive for the weddings.
Can we just talk about the car that you just arrived in?
That's my everyday runner.
No, normally when we turn up, literally the crew are out. We get hugs. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And we pretty much were pushed aside. And
John T opened the door on me.
did he?
Brilliant.
And I went, you've just opened the door on my arm. He was like, sorry, I didn't know you were so close. Oh my God, car. Like, just didn't care.
So what was it?
So I'm a petrol head. So my day-to-day runner is an Aston Martin.
And what's your number plate?
DB11 2.
Yeah.
Lovely. What's it stand for?
It's the car. It's a DB11.
Oh,
I couldn't get Pablo. Couldn't afford that.
isn't it Aston Martin garage near our shop, isn't it?
There is.
Been there forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So was that your first car?
Well, I should have
or-
bought Henry, the Rolls. Because he's a
Henry.
showstopper.
It's
What
freezing.
colour is
Yeah,
he?
I know.
We have to say it's absolutely
It is. It was
freezing.
frosty.
It
And
wasn't
I
just
thought,
frosty.
Henry's not going to like this.
Yeah.
I left him.
Oh.
Is he
cozy up.
alright?
Yeah, in his cover.
What
Yeah,
colour
he's
is
fine.
he?
He's got a cream top. He's two-tone, cream top and a black bottom.
So he's like old school.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. 1937.
Wow.
We're going to go more into cars, the cars that you've got in a May. But
My favourite subject.
You do wedding cars,
I do.
and this is a passion of yours.
Yeah.
More so probably than a business.
Yes.
as
Absolutely.
such.
Yeah.
So where did it all start?
Well, I didn't actually go out of my way to start driving for weddings, but I did go out of my way to start collecting cars during the pandemic through COVID.
Oh, so this is like a recent thing.
Yeah, it's not that
I
recent.
say
isn't it?
no, but it feels it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does feel like it's only
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago? 5
yeah,
years
something
ago,
like
yeah.
that. 2020 was it 2020?
So quite recent then.
2019.
Were you collecting cars before or?
Henry came along before that, and
Why,
it was
why
just
did
to
you
go.
buy him?
Oh, it's going to put people off if I tell you, but it's well, just to go down to the kebab van or fish and chip shop in something a bit more unusual, because I bought him from a Glaswegian wedding company.
Really?
Yeah, and I just want something different. I had a Porsche Speedster convertible. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. So not that wealthy. And
What do you mean
but-
it wasn't real?
well, most Porsche 356 Speedsters out there are replicas.
Oh, there.
It's a bit
No
like AC
way.
Cobra. You know an AC Cobra?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to pretend I do.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to-
For anybody listening going,
Yeah.
what
well,
petrol heads around the world are going to be glued to this, but
all
we're
the
going to put some
brides
pictures
and
in
And
stuff.
then
between.
they've got
They're
us
going, "What are you
stupid
talking about?"
bitches not knowing anything about cars.
Listen,
This is education.
I'm sitting there going, can you
It's like
find me?
putting Mary Berry on Top Gear.
I think she'd be really good on Top Gear.
Probably.
She'd be excellent. Right, so they're not real.
Oh no, they're all real.
Okay.
But that one wasn't, and so but it was essentially it's a replica, and I swapped that. I part exchanged it because my son at the time was 3-4 years old, and he was fine, but the back seat is higher.
Right.
And so as he got older, he was catching flies because he was above the windscreen if you sat in the back. So I got that because it's a 1937 Rolls Royce, very, very unromantic names called 2530. You know, they have like Phantom.
Right,
and
yeah,
the,
okay.
The Wraith was the next version.
Yeah.
And,
I think Phantom, for anybody out there, is probably the name that people recognise
or
the
the
most.
Silver Shadows,
The
or the something clouds, Silver Clouds, all these beautiful names.
Yeah.
So they said, no, we're going to call this one the 2530. I think it's something to do with the horsepower.
Ah, right, okay.
Because there was a 2030 as well.
Right.
But anyway, so I got that, and it's a limo version. And so I started doing it up a little bit because it was a bit tatty. And then,
Sorry,
we're running out of time.
No, it's my time.
Someone
Thanks
asking
very much.
questions.
Bye, next guest.
So when you say you do it up, is that internally?
Yeah,
or?
internally more than anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And because it was pretty good nick on the outside, but inside it was a bit dated. You know, sometimes, I mean, if you look around wedding cars, sometimes they put like just standard carpet. Like they'll cut a piece of this and put it in the back. Well,
Yeah.
Not this, but
And what do you do?
well, you've got to do it
It's just
properly.
called your
You've gotta
rug standard.
Sorry. Well,
Terrible
the
set.
rug person. New rug.
I mean, it was set alight last week.
But you wouldn't want it in a Rolls Royce.
He doesn't
That's what I'm
know.
saying.
Yeah, okay.
So
Alright.
So you
So what
put
would you
proper
put in a
stuff-
Rolls Royce then?
Well, there's proper carpet that you put in there,
Yeah.
plush,
Okay.
nice,
Like sink your
thick
feet
piled.
into.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, not shag pile or anything.
Okay.
It's like going back
Shag
into.
pile.
That's like the 60s, isn't
Wait,
it?
to laugh.
Shag
It's
pile.
all.
Yeah, that's what they used to call it.
Oh, shag pile.
Shag pile. Yeah, I remember shag pile.
Yeah.
If you were like being posh, you would go in and go, "I'll have your finest shag pile, please."
Yeah, 'cause it's that.
You know?
That. Thick.
What do they call it now?
Just sold a shag.
Oh God, thank God I haven't got
City on.
carpet.
On a street corner somewhere.
It's good I haven't got carpet anymore. I can go in and ask for it.
But anyway, yeah, back to the Rolls.
So you do the internal refurbishment.
Well, I tried the whole idea of buying all these cars because I've got about 14 of them now.
Yeah.
13 plus every day, and they was
I
to
love
make
that
money.
every day here is.
Yeah, what it
Have
is.
you done the school run in it? and
in
stuff?
which the Rolls? Of course.
Any of them?
Yeah.
Do,
Well,
do
I
people treat
actually,
you differently? Like, hello?
Yeah, no, but you're driving along, and then all these people are looking at you, and you're thinking, why are they looking at me? And you think, oh, that's why, because I'm in Henry, I'm in the Rolls, or I've got a 1931 Chevrolet. It's an old convertible Chevrolet.
Okay.
It's like the same era as the Ford Model T.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No brides want to book it. I mean, I did try and get it, so I swapped that for a Mustang, Ford Mustang.
Oh,
When you say they don't want to book it, is that because it's the roof's up or?
Yes, I think that's what it is. Well, I don't know. Nobody phoned me up and said I'm not going to book that one because they'll just say I want the Rolls because the Rolls is the classic thing, and it is literally you park it somewhere and people don't even like non-petrol heads. People don't like cars. That's the most beautiful car I've ever seen.
It's elegant, isn't it?
It's beautiful. Yeah, we've had it some.
Do you think that's why it's more popular for weddings than?
Yeah,
any
it's
car?
your quintessential classic, but it can do both. So I have not just driven for weddings.
Yeah.
I told you earlier I drove for someone who had a few weeks left of life, wanted to go out for a meal. And
tell us about this.
About that one?
Yeah.
I know. We don't want to bring the tone down.
Yeah, I was
he had
going
a
to
few
say,
weeks
Sharon,
to
what
live.
are you doing?
Yeah.
His partner said that, we were going to go to the Complete Angler in Marlow. It's a very posh restaurant on the river. We're on the River Thames, beautiful. And says, we just like to, and how much do you charge? I said, well, I can't really charge for that. So.
Oh, bless you.
But so that sort of situation.
The last bit of luxury.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, going out in style.
Oh, could have been the first and last.
Yeah. Could have been. Oh, bless you.
And then they went, and then after that we took them to Blenheim Palace. I think after that.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's nice
for
then.
tea.
Oh my god.
So that was a whole day for them.
But emotional for you.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
But the whole reason I did it is because to be part of someone's beautiful day. On your day-to-day job. I'm a graphic designer. I run a web design agency. And the day in, day out, just in case clients watch it, it's marvellous. I love it. It's my passion as well. But no, you get, your day-to-day job.
But this is your passion.
Well, are you part of someone's? It's the most important day of their lives, potentially, especially for the brides in a lot of cases.
I was going to say, but the roles are you being booked by the bride for this? Because I would think that the boys are normally petrol heads that would probably. But
John wants to turn up to our wedding in a Ferrari.
That's the boy. See, that's why I have a Bugatti 35.
Yes,
it's an old school.
But do you have to drive them?
No, that one's a self-driver.
Right, because I feel like John would want to do it for his best man.
Literally, there's no room in it. So that would be like the best man and the groom to drive to the wedding. So they drive in that.
And what are the criteria for them being allowed to hire this car from you? Like
A licence?
They have to insure themselves. That's it.
And you have proof. You have to have proof of that, I suppose.
Yeah,
And it's probably quite a quick drive, isn't it? Do they make sure it's...
Yeah,
They're only
you
going
wouldn't want
from
to
a
drive
little
the
bit...
Bugatti for very long because it's literally there's nothing. It's an old school. So you probably don't you know those old school like at the fishtail at the back.
Yes.
Old school cars with the Biggles hats and all that. It's
right.
one of them.
Yeah. Oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
there's windscreen is this little piece of glass like that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So obviously you couldn't get the bride in there. But
it's for show, isn't it?
it is, and it's fun. It's fun, so they can get there to wedding. But the
Is it
Rolls
noisy?
So going back to the convertible, I think it's because they probably spend hundreds of pounds on their hair, and then they go and get in the Chevy, and we drive down even at 20 miles an hour, and the hair's.
That's the thing. You would not
The
see
old
me in a
Bridget Jones.
top-down car. I'm not having it.
No.
Yeah, but that's what I want.
No,
I
just wouldn't. Like,
We talk about. I'm in the middle of trying to
My eyes would
find
water.
a VW Beetle convertible. For that reason, I want that top down. I
you
want.
can piss off if you think I'm getting in a car. Honestly, going down the bloody...
I can see his shoulders go like this.
Down the M40.
bloody going down 9 Mile ride with you. Fucking hell.
With the wind in our hair.
Him laughing at his little face.
Should we do it, guys?
No.
Yeah.
My eyes will be streaming.
Maybe I can hire one from you. And
Get the Bugatti.
Yes.
Now that, because you'll love that. You'll be screaming
Like
most of the
Thelma
time.
and Louise.
It's the noise and everything. It's brilliant.
But I think if we talk about Thelma and Louise, it is that, isn't it? It's all about the showmanship, I think, of turning up, and it's all about the theatre, isn't it? And
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
suppose with the sports cars, you can hear them before you see them.
That's it.
Thing is, it's a bit crap though. No one sees the bride turn up,
But
but
then
they get in it afterwards.
but then
don't
you
they?
They all
leave.
have to be they're all at the church. Whenever I've done one, they're all at the church waiting.
waiting, and then they go
Yeah.
in, and then she comes.
I mean, and some of them I've been to in Oxford. You know Oxford?
Yeah.
Do you know the Oxford Camera? Do you know where that is? It's like this amazing building.
top of the hill.
What
No,
is it?
top of the hill. For God's sake.
Oxford's fairly flat.
You don't know it, Sharon.
That's what I mean.
Oh no,
It's-
there is a castle on a hill.
Yes.
No, it's not that hill.
Okay.
Sake.
Anyway, it's a very it's a classic spot of it's on the if you go to Expedia, go like I'm going to go to Oxford, they'll say that we can go to the Oxford Camera and you go here and you go there. It's one of those spots. Anyway, they don't allow cars in there, but Henry, being Henry, the Rolls, not a person, we can drive him in there.
So Henry can get access where?
Well, you get access, and we dropped off, and literally there must have been 1,000 mostly Oriental tourists taking pictures of us.
This is an English car, isn't it?
Oh, they love it. Yeah, exactly. And if you go to London, I've towed it to London for weddings as well.
Yeah.
And I towed,
What do you mean towed it?
well, driving. I mean, it does 35 miles an hour, so they might get a bit annoyed with the M40, and I might have a
What,
police
this is
escort.
Henry?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't go that fast.
Well, it can go to 40, and when I was late for a wedding, I did take it up to 50.
Sounds like my ideal car because I don't like going over 40 anywhere.
No, it's perfect, and it's
She won't
lovely.
even get on a motorway.
I mean, literally, no one is bothered because it doesn't have indicators. It has little arms that come out.
I was going to say, do you put your arm out like when you're doing your cycling efficiency?
Depends how cold it is.
I found
But
it.
if it has the little arms that come out the side,
Yeah,
the old-fashioned
the little
arms. So you go,
flippers.
that's
Yeah.
it. And
Do you not know though?
No, what do you mean
I should have
flippers?
bought Henry. I'm so sorry I didn't bring
Literally
him.
where they've
You'll
got
still be on your way.
That's it. You'll be here talking.
Just pulling off the
talking
drive.
on the mobile.
We'll have to do it
FaceTime.
remote.
Here's Henry.
where you've got the driver's and passenger's door down the side. It's got like a little hand that comes out.
A hand.
No.
It indicates like a
It's not
flipper.
literally a hand
Yeah.
waving at someone
I'll
behind.
have to Google
It
it.
flips
Or
up.
gives them
We'll put it on.
finger.
We'll put it on the show.
Yeah.
But,
It is,
Oh,
that's
great.
it. So,
Keith's gonna help
but
me now.
no one's used to
but
that.
a
They're all
big
used to flashing
car
indicators.
with that little thing.
Yeah,
it's
they
like-
don't notice it.
No.
But then she start turning right or left or something. They're going, "What are you doing?" You can see their faces. And in the back of the car, but nobody beeps. I've been in Piccadilly Circus, literally, Piccadilly Circus. I've been round there and had to sort of like stop and
Probably
reverse.
think you're Elton John or Simon Cowell.
It's not a very good turning circle here, but I had to stop and reverse, and the whole traffic just waited.
Stopped.
They did no waits. They just
Oh,
waited. Yeah,
that's
so
lovely.
Oh my God, I'd love you to drive me around London. I just sit in the back with
It is-
glasses and a
that's so
headscarf
cool.
and just be like, and everyone be like, who is it?
Yeah,
Oh, is it a
it is very
model?
cool. The only trouble with London is, so obviously it doesn't have a built-in sat-nav, being 1937, so you've got to
Right.
use your phone. So you put your phone up, and you're in the middle of London, and you don't know
What
where
you
you're
do in
going.
your van?
So, but the trouble is, you go past all these buildings, and you lose. And I've got the groom and the father of the bride in the back, and they're having a little chat and relaxing and everything. And I'm driving along going, no, this is fantastic. I'm watching this because I don't know specifically where every church is in London, so I've got to have my sat nav. And then suddenly you lose the signal. You go,
oh, that's us.
What do I do? And it's mostly one-way streets down these one places.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'll just carry on until I get a signal, please.
How many
please.
fines have you got?
I didn't want I've got a little sliding glass door. Says, do you know where we are? She just sort of like back. We can't do that, can you? So you just say, oh, comes anything.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a bit hot under the collar, thinking. But yeah, so eventually you
Forehead's
get the signal
going red
back.
from the app.
Yeah, and of course, and you're on a timer as well.
Yeah.
You can't get them there. You can get them there traditionally a little bit late.
Yeah. So what are the timelines for you picking up and arriving?
That's quite tricky because Google Maps doesn't really allow for going at 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It says you've got an hour and 5 to get there, so I'll double that.
Yeah.
Because it's probably going to think, well, it always does that, doesn't it? It takes you down some crunchy lane,
Yeah.
saying you can do 70 down it, but there's no chance of that.
Do you get bibbed at for going so slow?
Nobody beeps. Nobody, no, they don't.
They
They really
respect
don't. They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's essentially, get the words out.
Essentially.
I wasn't going to say that. But
Essentially.
Look at me and my big word.
You do get the occasional van man, white
Right,
van
okay.
man's like flying past at 120 if getting annoyed, but no, everyone else is very, very lax because it's.
Because they'll probably know it's an old car and that it's not going to
Lots
be.
of people beeping as well because you could just be driving down the road and they think so. Oh look, it's a wedding couple. Beep 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 beep.
Because that's what everyone wants on their big day.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, like you said, planning timescales and that is quite important.
Oh, it's a
Because you're
massive
driving
thing.
from one place to the other. Does the car need to rest before it goes off again?
Does it need lunch?
No,
I'll give it a little stroke before
No, I
we
mean
go
the
up.
engine. because she doesn't know this. So on my second wedding, I had a vintage fire engine take me to church.
That's brilliant.
And they'd
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you joking? Why?
I just fancied a fire engine to
Well, you
take
get-
me to church.
Brilliant.
Would that not have had a big red flag warning that this marriage isn't going to work?
Or if you spot a fire on the way.
Well,
put it
they
out.
gave me a warning because it was it was
I can't-
1930s or 20s. It was a
Oh,
proper
fantastic.
with the big,
The
you know,
big bell.
wheel.
It's
Yes,
got the big bell
yeah,
on
and
it.
we rang it as we were going up to the church
And the
as
ladders.
well. You know,
Alarm bells are ringing.
and I didn't tell Ross that what I'd done as well, so I was freaking out because the day
Ross was
before.
your husband at the
Yeah,
future.
was and
You didn't tell him you got a fire engine. You were turning up to the church in a fire engine.
Yeah.
They all started running out thinking there's a fire.
Yeah, but it was great because people just stopped and watched.
Yes.
Because they
Where
never
were you
seen
on this part of the truck?
Were you on the back
engine?
of it, like hanging off with a
Hanging
fire
off.
engine?
I
helmet
wanted
on?
to be, but they wouldn't let me.
Oh my god! Have you ever put one of them hats on? We
They're heavy.
went when Elsie Ray put one on at like some fair this year. It was in the summer. They literally put it on her head and she went like that.
They're
It's
heavy.
so heavy,
Oh,
so
no.
heavy.
Well, they got steel stuff in there.
Did he do the fireman's lift to take you down the aisle afterwards and put you in the
Honestly,
in the fire engine?
Nessa from Gavin and Stacey would turn up to her wedding. in.
I did it first.
Honestly.
It was brilliant. But they had warned me that because they were doing proms because it was in July and in August and
They're taking all the lads and then they're
No, they were
we've got a
saying-
bride on Thursday.
because it overheats in certain weather.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that actually just be warning that it may not turn up. Luckily, the church around the corner, so I could have walked, so it's not a
Yeah.
problem. But you know, it was late.
Oh no, Henry's
And
very
they had to
reliable.
stop
It's
because
probably the most reliable car I have.
Really?
Literally, yeah. In 1937, they knew how to build cars.
Yeah.
They weren't like 50 a second or something off from some. They were hand built, and so they're so reliable even to this day. The engineering on that car is amazing. So if it gets hot, the radiator automatically, and this is 1937, the louvers of the radiator open on a Rolls,
Oh wow.
Wow.
and they stay open, so it allows more cool air to come
Yeah,
in. as you
fair
Well, like
drive
the
it.
new
True.
cars now, I keep seeing it all online. Someone's got a brand new like Mercedes or something like that, and then it starts smoking. And that thingy that was in Love Island, car just blew up and burst into flames.
Oh jeez, that's what I'm scared about. All these electric things. I'm hoping they don't bring in some law. We've got to put electric motors.
Well,
in
the
old cars.
Jaguars
I've got three types.
well, they've stopped this year, haven't they? And they're going over to electric for 2026.
Who are?
Jaguar.
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going to talk about because they do the electric E-Type now. They put electric motors in those old E-Types. But
yeah.
I think that's
But I don't think you're going to get the roar of the engine, which I think you want
That's
on your
it.
wedding day, don't you? You
not
want
in Henry so much.
you
What,
know.
like a V8 in there.
So when
Listen to that.
when a couple are booking, you, are there particular questions that you would ask them, or are there questions that they should be asking?
I had a call yesterday, and you said who books. It's different. So I've had the
groom to be.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I can't get these words out sometimes. Thank you. But also I had the mother of the bride yesterday call me and have a bit of a chin wag. Would you, if you put something else out, because I had two inquiries yesterday.
Might have
impressed
done.
by that.
I'll take it.
I was thinking, Jesus, this is like a tidal wave of inquiries.
But when you're getting somebody else booking you, are they booking you as a surprise?
Sometimes it's if it's the parents, that's how I just want to treat my daughter. She just wants to go in my car. I'm just going to treat her.
We've had this with we had it with the singing waiters, didn't we? And who else? We had it with Paul, the Sinatra guy, last week when we called it. They get double booked. So the bride and groom have booked their own thing, or the groom could have booked a surprise for his wife to be.
Yeah, sometimes.
And then you end up with 2 or 3 cars arriving on the day, so it's important maybe to ask.
Yeah,
first.
Well, no, absolutely. I mean, most of the time it's like the fire engine thing. Just in case, never happened to me. Is there any wood in here?
You use my head.
Oh, no, there's wood there.
There's plenty of wood in there.
Yeah, it's never happened, but you say just in case, have a car and just ready, just in case that Henry's is having an off day.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, because I have broken down once in it, and I got out, and this little brass bolt I screwed back on. It was something to do with the starter, the electric. That was it. It was done.
It's important to understand, how to fix things like the engine and stuff
so.
like that.
With an old car, you need. That's why. So you get the larger wedding companies who just like conveyor belt in a way. This is what I was telling this the mother yesterday, that you're going to get it cheaper. Yeah. But then you're going to get cheaper, and I mean, you can like it might be a lovely day with it, but they're there, and sometimes they do even 2 weddings a day.
Right. Okay.
So they're churning them out.
It's rare, but then you get someone, the independents. So I know guys who have double-decker buses. I mean, literally, this guy I met, we went to this stately home, double-decker bus, took all the guests there. I'm talking about an old Routemaster. Yeah. The old, beautiful.
Yeah, I've had a bride actually get married in London one day, and she did swing off the bar and everything. That was a great photo.
So he has them, and he's in his private individual. Right. He has like 3 of these things, and he had to, when he went to buy his house with his wife, he had to. That was part of the criteria. I need a barn that can fit 3 double-decker buses in it.
Yeah. Don't worry about the house.
No, that was it. Yeah. It was just the land and the. But anyway, going back to the. I can't remember. I lost a chain of thought.
So we're talking about
double
other
booking.
Companies. Other companies with like their conveyor belt, and they'll do 2 weddings.
So the private individuals like me, they'll do a little bit more. Like we went to this stately home, the same one with the Routemaster. Yeah. He was a lovely guy. He was asking questions. I'm sure he was thrilled on the way back from the church that or his bride was, that he was asking questions about the car. Oh, what is it? What year is it? What's the engine? And I said, do you want to have a little drive? Because it was a private drive up to the stately home. And so we hopped out, and there was literally probably about 200 guests waiting on the big gravel drive of the stately home. And he drove up, and I was in the passenger seat. Oh, we hopped out, could swap places, and they're all lining this. Yeah, so.
And I think if you're double booking your cars out, you're not going to give the bride and groom or couples that experience of looking around the cars. And
I don't want to give them a bad name, but I mean, some probably say no, you don't do that.
They've then got to shoot off to the next one. So
or they hire a chauffeur who's just it's a job in a way. But I mean, I met loads of lovely chauffeurs for companies, but some of them I would suggest are probably you pay sometimes a bit more for the individual that's polished the car the day before, made sure it's got the spark plugs out, because they're old cars, they all get carboned up.
And you do all this. You make sure
I'm doing the actions of the sandpaper and the spark plug.
Nice.
That's how you say
Teeth look great.
Sandpaper and spark plug. So and they've got the.
So you maintain it,
out,
you check
polished
it all
it up.
before.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I think that's important, isn't it? Because you're doing everything possible to make sure that you are going to be there.
And I have my Google, so I always do a backup paper map now that sits next to me as well. Not that it's much bloody
help. Do you remember those days where you used to have the book maps?
I know.
My granddad always had.
With my first husband, he used to drive. Yeah, and it was massive.
And turn it over.
And he'll be like, right, are we going left? Are we going? And I'm like, oh my God, I got in so much trouble because I'll turn the map around. Because I have to turn the map around to where we're going. And
in front of the driver's eyes or something.
yeah, got me into all sorts of trouble.
Do you have like fizz or anything? What is your
Oh,
car?
I always put a bottle of
Oh
Veuve
yeah,
Clicquot.
because I was going to say if
Nothing
you're
less than
massively
Veuve
into
Clicquot
your
in the back.
cars, normally it's like nothing.
Perfect. And will you cater for other things if they want certain other
Yeah,
things?
absolutely. Yeah. I have had one that was a Scottish couple, and they so I had, instead of the white ribbon, it was like the tartan ribbon going up the side.
So
I
you
ordered
do
that.
have the ribbons. That was going to be the
I
next
ordered
thing.
that. Yeah.
So we get this quite a lot in the shop, don't we? Where people knock on the door and going, "Oh, do you do car ribbons and stuff like that?" And nobody sells them. So you go on Amazon, yes,
Yeah,
but it's normally like the day
So
of
do you
the
already
wedding.
have them, and then you'll say what colour would
I've
you
got
like?
a massive reel of the thing. Well, I've got the tartan now. Obviously, I've got masses of that. No one's ever asked for that again.
Maybe just throw it in there one day. Say, do you like tartan?
Or
And
try
then-
to like an
I love
add-on
tartan.
Yeah.
extra.
Yeah. But
What colour do you normally have? White.
Yeah, normally white. So then
Yeah.
I have these like sort of flowery things on the corners.
Yes.
But you can't drive the whole way with that.
Because they're
You've got
flapping.
that-
Yeah.
they're flapping around. So you've got to stop somewhere on the way and then do that quickly.
And then do them.
Yeah.
Okay. And can they have different colour ribbons if they're
I don't
you know
mind. Yeah, you
is
can
that-
do it. I mean,
You said
literally.
he ordered a tartan.
I
for
mean,
his
very
couple.
flexible. Yeah. So I've had to go back to the church and back about 4 times to get all the brides at one stage because they said we haven't got a
All the
driver."
bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
Oh, bridesmaids.
Sorry. Yeah.
all the bridesmaids. All the brides.
Yeah, we all do all sorts.
Also,
We-
my
we
brain's
don't-
just gone off. You know when you said you were going to get a beetle?
Yeah.
You can get the little eyelashes for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd so do that.
I was then you go. You'd
Trash.
be happy in it then, would you? If it had the eyelashes.
No, it's just so trashy, but it's Sharon, so I love it.
And the fluffy dice.
We
And the fluffy steering.
It's,
Fluffy steering wheel.
when I put the question out, the fact that you were coming on, I did actually have quite a lot of questions come back regarding what do I do regarding my entourage, my bridesmaids, my mother-in-law, that they're all
You
leaving
do
the
4
hotels.
trips.
So will you go back and forth?
Yeah, well, sometimes, I mean, like you say, the route master, or some people, there's old taxis that they
Yeah.
hire for that.
Well, I think people are like, oh, because the bride wants to make the entrance. So the last thing she wants is her transport to go to the church or the venue. Beforehand, she wants that as her own. So, do they pay extra for other cars or do they just put them in a taxi?
They usually pay extra for other cars, or they just go in the relatives' cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually get a lift in the
And
entourage
it's acceptable
that
to do
follows.
that.
Yes, and they usually want to be there before the bride and groom, so they all leave, and then we're usually the last to leave.
What time scale are we looking at for the entourage to go first to then the bride going?
Depends. It depends how nervous the bride is at the time, because they all come out sometimes.
Really?
I've dropped a bit of water in my dress. Oh my God.
Right.
Is it all
There's
really
like
flapping?
10 brides, yeah, say 10 bridesmaids going, oh my God, what do we do?
Right.
Looking on the nets, how do I get rid of water off a bridesmaid's dress?
Yeah, ring us.
That's it.
How
So are you helping?
Sometimes it's really rushed. Sometimes you have plenty
Right.
of time. They're relaxed. One night we wanted to go to the pub for a few shots before they went in there, because there was a pub opposite the church, and they wanted to go in there.
Really?
And they're so relaxed. And
And are you looking
Love
at the
that.
time going, right, we need to go now, sort of thing? Or,
Yes,
or is
usually,
that, if there's not a coordinator there.
No, I just go in there. Come on, get out.
But I think that, the eyes and the ears of the not the staff, but the people that are helping them.
I generally am relaxed. So if it's never got to a point where I've had to say, shall we go? I just wait out there in like a little statue, so waiting by the
have you
car.
had some like really funny, not funny stories, but like just that bit from the venue to the wherever, from the hotel, say, to the church or whatever?
The conversations you must hear in the car.
Have you ever
I've got a
heard,
little
like-
glass door that I shut.
Oh, so you can't even hear?
I always shut it out of politeness. It was great during COVID because I did a wedding. Do you know at the end when you
So you
had
didn't have to wear a mask?
when I wore a mask, but I had the glass door anyway. I said it's
safe.
perfect.
Yeah.
So it's a proper limousine. It has that little glass door.
Yeah,
I'm
fantastic.
yeah,
Have you got a limo?
that is a limo. The Rolls is a limo, but it's not like
Oh,
stretched.
is it?
It's
Oh,
sort of like a
okay.
stretched Hummer
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
where
yeah,
you
yeah.
go from miles.
Oh, Hummer.
But I don't know.
Remember them days?
No, the reason I went into weddings is because I love the cars. There's two passions I have: art, drawing, and the cars. And so I bought this. I had like 14 cars in total, and then I decided, well, I actually quite like to use these, and why not be part of someone's lovely day? Which is a lovely thing to do in principle.
Yeah.
Until the day comes, you're going, oh my God, it's the most important day of their life. I better get
Is
this
it pressure?
Oh, yeah, of course. And you got 1937 Rolls, which. everyone gets used to their BMWs. It just start, go, right, I'm there. But then
Okay.
you've got nice 737 Rolls.
Yeah.
So you've got temperatures and you've got all these little levers to go through, and you've got to check the oil, do the spark plugs, like I said, all that sort of stuff.
So prepping is really important.
Yeah, you got to
And
make
so
sure.
how does that work with like last minute weddings and stuff like that?
There's not that many last minute weddings I've done, and there
'Cause
was one in Oxford.
I find like
did.
with what we find is the little things like the luxuries are sometimes little add-ons at the end. They're like, actually, we've got a bit more money. Or like the mums will go, actually, we want something special.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, you know, do you need a time scale to get a car ready?
No, I mean generally, unless
Maintain them quite.
yeah, because
regularly.
I take Henry to shows as well. Then we all
Do
go as a,
you?
yeah, we all go as a families. In my son and my partner.
What
we
kind
go.
of shows?
Car shows? Yeah, because it's a great way to get there.
Yeah.
Plus, you get like 3 or 4 people in for free because they can all sit in the car. So like you're going in there. So I'm showing the car honest for like the price of 1 ticket.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so last minutes are absolutely fine.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and how much are these cars to hire?
I charge 650,
Okay.
which is, and usually they're between. You can get one for 300 quid. You can get one for 500 quid.
Yeah.
On the same par, but again.
But you're only doing one wedding a day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's not just that. I only do a few in the year.
Yeah.
And I tend to sort of try and do my research and try and ask if there's anything special that people want, and you know, if there's anything I can go out of my way, because then you're spending 50 quid on the champagne out of that. Then you've
Yes.
got to take 2 days out.
Will
to
you
do
do
it.
Will you do nibbles?
Nibble or canapes?
Yeah.
Like sort of,
Food. Come thinking,
I've
you
never
know.
been asked for canapes.
I mean,
They're all so
I
nervous.
was
They
going
don't
to
want to
say,
eat.
yeah, no one's going to want to
Because
be eating on their way to get
When
married.
if you're getting married at a venue or a church, sometimes your venue is an hour away.
Yeah.
You know, and that you're probably not eating breakfast in the morning, and then
That's
you're going
true.
straight into the
They've got to have a
wedding.
glass of champagne.
I'd understand
Yeah.
on the way out.
Breakfast.
Like, just get some pork scratchings.
Pork scratchings.
Give them a bit of pork pie from the garage.
Oh,
He goes
yeah.
against us.
Love a pork pie from Paris, don't I?
Have you ever had
Fucking
to
knows
stop?
me.
Like Cookie Monster in the back.
Have you ever been asked to stop off anywhere on
Oh,
route?
I did have one couple that when we got to the venue, they came up to me. I stick around at the venue for a while afterwards. They came up to me and goes, "We don't want to be seen smoking." Sorry, it's going to hear. We don't want to be seen smoking in front of our guests. Do you mind if we? Could you take us down the road for a fag? You know, okay, yeah, sure. We got in and went, but I got some of the most amazing photos of them in this little foresty bit where he stopped. Because
Fantastic.
they went out, and it was just the bride and groom, and that's often that. I think that's the
More
biggest thing about
attraction.
that
Did they
don't
ask you to take
realise.
photos of them, or did you just start
Yeah,
snapping?
they did. I said,
Oh.
yeah.
Got these most
evidence.
amazing photos.
Start blackmail them afterwards. Don't give me.
You thought they didn't smoke, but they do.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think the couples
lovely.
realise that it's probably the only part of the day they're going to get to themselves.
Yeah.
Right
It's
up
in
until
the
they go
back
to
of that
bed.
car.
Because as soon as so obviously they get to the church, then they see each other, they
Yeah.
get married, they come
Well,
out.
even from getting ready in the morning, there is so much noise going on. There's
and
people
usually
in,
they keep them
people out.
separate. Okay, everyone's traditionally keep them separate,
Yeah,
don't they?
but there's constantly people from the moment
Oh,
you open your eyes.
Oh, that's right. It's my hair. It's my all that. Yeah, that's all going on. You see, you're the calm in the chaos. Usually, the driver, because they're standing there like a statue, who's all saying it's okay. It's all going to be fine. Don't worry. And then, they sit in the car on the way back from the church to reception.
Just the two of them.
And it's just the two of them. They have a lovely chat, and they think, "Oh, what was that? Who's that? Oh, I didn't know. I've not seen them for years." And then they get there.
Yeah. They
and
unpack everything, don't they?
And then they get
Yeah.
you know, people throw in all their confetti and rice at them or whatever it is, and they go out, and then there's sort of 500 people that want to talk to them, and usually they're sort of separated off, and they'll have a little dance,
Yeah.
and then at the end they sort of so you've got to make the most of that little time.
I always say to all my brides, take 10 minutes out
Yeah.
with your partner and look inwards
Soak
at
it
your
in.
holiday that
Yeah.
you can, holiday at your wedding that you can.
Holiday in.
That's what Sharon thinks it is 3 times. It's a holiday. Because I'm
Well,
thinking about
that's the
holiday.
main,
I'm
isn't it?
off next week. It's like,
Honeymoon. That is the big thing.
But it's that moment in time that you'll only have together.
Yes.
You know, so actually having it in the car is
Yeah, that's that, and it is,
ideal.
and because I do the little shutters, and if they need me, they knock on the glass, and then
when
yeah.
our couples are
so I'm going the
planning
wrong way or something.
their weddings.
Idiots.
Often where they're getting married to their venue can be quite a big distance away.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of top tips that you would
Yes.
say? Okay.
Yeah, I love these questions.
You like them?
Yeah. You've done your homework.
Not even on my card. That came straight from my head.
You got cards? I didn't have any cards.
You don't need the cards.
No, I stop. Oh yeah, I don't stop talking unless I forget what I'm talking about. Clearly, a few times. And
It's like a third one of us.
yeah,
I know.
the top
I know.
tip, the top. Tip.
I have a magnet. I said to Darren
Just
earlier.
sit in the middle there with you.
I have this
I'll be with the next
magnet
guests.
of finding
So what do you do?
the people that are our people.
Oh, bless you.
I knew the moment that you said hello to me on our Zoom, I'm like, he's my
Really,
man.
you had me
It's
at
like a
hello.
circus.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, bless you,
exactly.
that's nice.
But I think it's important that you can talk to people because you put people.
Well,
at
you've got to be a people person.
Yeah.
If you just shut up and just drive them there and drive them back, it's kind of like if you may as well get a taxi or an Uber.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
But so the top tip distances.
Yes.
I always say, what route do you want me to take you back? Because we don't want to be going down the A34 with like cars going past you.
What a good.
So you just go down the country lanes, or actually, is there anyone on the way you want to stop off to see Auntie Mildred? Or
Well,
something
it was actually
on the
one
way?
of my.
Auntie.
You've just reminded me now because a lot of our brides will have relatives that are no longer here and would like to put their flowers on. The graves and stuff like that, and I think that's an ideal time to do it, isn't it?
Oh, you get all sorts of weird requests like, could you get the rolls in that little gap? Something there's tiniest gaps that's smaller than the door to get so we can have some pictures in front of the church with it. And you get very good at driving. This it's very, very long. It's quite narrow, but it's very long. The old rolls. The other thing is top tips. Top tips for you out there.
We want lots of top tips.
Yeah, top tips. So if you've got a big dress, think about that for the car you're hiring, because if you're going to go into some little Bentley, which has only got that much, you're going to be stuffing it all in the corners. But you get a limo, or you get the Rolls has massive. Literally, I got more room than this. Put it that way.
Yeah. Well, with the fire engine, there was loads of room.
Yes.
In my dress.
Oh God, yeah, that would.
And then on the third wedding, we had to get into a golf cart and go off and have our photographs taken.
Wow, you do choose some unusual vehicles.
Because their husbands said, and they had to literally just push the. I remember Hayley Bray literally using her legs just to push the dress in, so it didn't go underneath the wheels.
Well, that's it, because they get out, and in the back, I've got a champagne cooler and 2 champagne glasses waiting. That's silver goblets in there waiting.
That's nice.
Yeah, so they can sit there and they can literally lounge out. They can put their feet out. Yeah, and obviously the big.
Do you have seatbelts in the back? Is it exempt?
No, they didn't have the seatbelts in 1937. They didn't care. And the actual space the driver's got in the front, because I have sometimes the photographer needs to come along as well. And they say, "Could you give us a lift?" I was like, "Yeah, you can come in the front with me." And they go, and they get in there, and it's literally it's the worst. Have you ever driven a Mini, the old Minis?
Yes, I did have a
bit like
Mini.
your Beetle. You're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, they're solid, but you're not having very much room in them. And literally, your knees are up to there.
So the driver
massive,
and
the steering wheel's like this. You're driving this massive Rolls, no room, and in the back, they're all lounging around. Yeah, so
it was all about luxury, isn't it? And I think that's why it's probably a really popular car.
It's actually not many people know it, but it's a 7-seater. So behind the driver's seat, there's 2 little seats that come out. Can't remember what they're called. They're kind of certain type of seats they fold out.
Is that like
the taxi?
The taxis, yeah.
Like cabs.
They're not facing the other one. They actually come back and you're facing forwards. They're little fold-out seats.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've covered them in sort of like a black leather.
So do you get? And when we talked about, you just talked about the photographer like catching a lift. Do you get other people that go, "Oh, actually, can you give us a lift?" Because
like stuff them all in. Yeah, because sometimes the kids like the little if there's a niece.
But if
or
the bride and
something,
groom want time on their own, and we've had this. I had this a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about you coming on, and she said, I forgot what kind of car she had. I think it was a vintage car, and she said, we told everybody that to arrange their transport between this place and that place. I think they had 45 minutes between one place and the other, and she said, and people were like, well, I want to drink, so can I get a lift with you? And it's their precious time together.
That's why the Brewmaster's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
All get slaughtered in it.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a game. So let's bring that game on and we'll play a game. And then we're going to do some questions from the public as well. What's the funniest situation you've been in?
Oh, the funniest situation.
You don't need to name names.
Okay, no, I won't,
Probably
because
will.
there was one situation where and this is very, very rare. I put it out there, very rare, because I do my homework. So there was a venue. So I polished the car, had the venue, printed out all my maps and everything, to this, and it was something farm. But okay, great, excellent. And I googled it and did all that, and yes, there's something from farm wedding venue. Perfect. Okay, put that in, and it was the right dress and everything. And the next day they said, would you mind getting a bit early? No problem. I'll get there early. So for one reason or another, and I got there, and this is a beautiful place, and I was relaxed. I said, I had loads of time. I thought, brilliant. They wanted to get there for like say 12 p.m. and I was there at sort of 11:45. Great, okay. And I walked in to this venue where they're all preparing the tables and thing. Do you know where such and such is? It's her wedding today. He's like, no, I don't know where she is actually. And I said, okay, great. So I went to another room, and it was 5 minutes later. Do you know where such and such is? Oh no, this is not such and such's wedding. This is someone else's wedding. I was like, I looked at my clock, said, my watch, I said, bugger. Okay, so running back to the car, then I punched in the address again into Google, and there was a farm that wasn't a venue with the exact same name.
No.
Not the same farm, totally different farm, about 20 minutes away, and it was like 10 to.
You and Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Henry.
Yeah. So
it's 2 to 3 working
then
days.
I could have done, talking about I could have done with the V8 in him then.
Yeah.
Because I was like rushing down. And then it was always those occasions, isn't it, where there's someone's in front of you in the traffic, and then they decide to slam on the brakes and turn right without indicators.
Oh my God!
And of course, I'm flying
How
there.
dare
40,
not
50.
indicate when you ain't even got one?
I know exactly.
He's got little arms.
That's it. I was trying to... Where's your flapper?
I bet you're going. Where's your flapper? Where's your flapper?
Get a flapper. But, yeah.
Oh my God!
So I got there in the end, fine.
Yeah.
But of course, they're all getting ready and calm and everything, getting into the car. And there's me
You're
probably
sweating.
I've just done a marathon.
You got
or
there,
something.
and I think and we say this, to our brides that come in. Make sure that 8 weeks prior to your wedding, this is your countdown, that everybody knows where they're going. Give them the correct address. Google it yourself, drive there yourself, so people know, give them directions. Because sometimes these venues have 3 or 4 different entrances because they've got 3 or 4 different lodges and stuff like that,
Well, that's the thing, if you're not familiar, and it's quite... So what I do now, I drive there the day before. Sometimes I go in the Bugatti with the Biggles thing, yeah.
The Biggles?
Yeah, so if you ever book me for a wedding, and then there's this strange... weirdo with a Biggles thing and an old-fashioned Bugatti turns up to the same wedding venue.
Yeah,
I was over there.
Yes, your camera's here. Yeah.
I know you tell me. I've been looking over there. So.
That's mine.
Yeah. Is it?
How long's that been there?
What is yours?
That camera's been there forever,
I
Lauren.
just had them too.
So how come you're looking that way as well?
Because this is my camera,
Oh, right.
and that's your
Never
camera.
seen this
And then we say goodbye to this camera, but we're not ready to say goodbye.
Okay.
So let's spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel.
There we go.
It's
I've just realised I've been staring at a camera, but it's probably on me. So I've just had to stare off.
It's our take on which spin the bottle. We'll do that
So
another
which way
time.
should I spin it? Or
You can go any way you want.
Oh, okay, I'll go this way.
This is carnage.
Switch it. Right. So if you weren't doing what you're doing now,
I'll just put it to that one. No, it's fine.
If you weren't doing what you're doing now and not your present job either, what would you be doing?
I'll be an artist.
Knew it.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Yeah,
that.
I love my art.
You showed us
Do you draw cars?
Sorry?
I'm guessing you draw cars.
No. Can't do cars.
He
Cars
draws
too many straight
naked
lines.
ladies.
Yes.
No way.
Rose.
Yes.
French girl
naked
Sharon.
men.
Yes.
No, I don't like discriminate. It's men and women that we draw, and it's
Oh my
every
God,
Thursday. Luke and a life drawing. So that's much more important than the wedding business in my opinion.
I done it
That's
for
my
a hen
passion.
do. It was brilliant.
What,
Yeah.
and
You're very
yeah.
good. They're fantastic.
well, that's my passion. I love that.
Yeah.
I do love it. Those are my 2 passions: vehicle, cars.
Did
and
you ever get
art.
the giggles the first time, or are you a grown up?
No, I was quite grown up. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Are you-
I
so-
what
find
are
it
you
so
now?
funny.
What? Oh no, I don't get the giggle. He hasn't brought it on.
No.
Honestly,
I do
find
get.
it so
There's
funny.
one guy. There's one guy who is. He's an Adonis. He's like got the 6 packs. Like
Oh, right,
It's
yeah.
Tom Jackson. He's like if you.
This camera.
I keep doing it, don't I?
It's all right.
You keep remind me.
Who's Tom Jackson?
Give me a kick.
We've been doing this a year. We still don't know.
Who's Tom Jackson?
Tom Jackson
This is
is
mate.
the model, and he's
Oh,
like
sorry.
the
I
Adonis
thought you were like trying
male.
to compare him to someone famous.
He knows that I always sort of every time I join.
So he's like
I've got
Big
him
Tom,
tonight.
Big
Actually,
Tom.
Tom, he's coming. Yeah, we've got 12 artists come to my house.
Yeah.
Got a big area at the back.
Yeah.
We'll do the drawing, and he, as soon as he kind of gets his kit off to get drawn, I do feel quite inadequate. I think I should work out a little bit more every time I see him.
Do you breathe in?
Yeah. Well, you still about funny stories. I mean, with the life drawing thing, is there's been a few occasions when someone hasn't turned up on time. Well, I'm not getting my kit off.
So what happens?
Luckily, one of the artists is also a life model, so she sort of stepped up to the mark. Yeah, and it was I blame her in a way for hiring this guy that didn't turn up, because he was the Russian playboy. He's probably watching now. It says, lucky I had someone in the room.
He might have been in a car like Henry. He might still be on his way.
Yeah. Might be Russia. You never know. Playboy. Yeah.
Talk about switch it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're not married.
Not anymore.
Not
thankfully.
anymore.
But I do have a partner.
But you have a partner.
Yeah.
If you were getting married,
I sound my soulmate.
If you were getting married
She
again,
is my soulmate. I could have said that.
If you get it sounds like a proposal. We've not had one on
a wedding show.
Have you? If you were getting married again, what would your wedding be like regarding, your cars and stuff like that? Would you arrive?
I'd get them all out.
They'd be his groomsmen.
Yeah. What would I do? I wouldn't drive myself.
No.
I guess someone else could drive Henry.
I'll drive you.
You'd get
excellent. Well, I'll drive at your wedding.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what she was after.
I bet you get lots of offers like that. You get sort of dresses and all sorts thrown at you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we can't talk about that right now. Spin it again.
Oh, really?
Do another one.
Two goes.
You get 2 goes, yeah. And then we're going to do some questions from the public. Is that all right?
This is like Good Morning Britain, isn't it? I feel like I want to carry this on.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Would you rather?
Would I rather
That's the
what?
same question. Switch it.
Yeah,
isn't it?
do another
We're
one.
going to redo this one. Do another one.
Be all day.
Flip the table. Ask us a question.
I could know. It's quite heavy.
We're going to do that. Yeah. Somebody's going to do that one day. I don't know. Ask us a question.
Oh right. Okay.
About our industry.
Oh, I got one. It's got one entered my head.
Go on then.
So,
no,
who is this? Yeah, that's it. Should we swap places? Are you supposed to see?
Yeah.
That's your camera now. So who's this? I don't know. Should I ask that? Because I don't know. That's a bit naughty. You can pass. If you want.
Okay.
You can do
give us a pass.
switch it or something. So, who's the sort of strangest guest you ever had, apart from me?
Strangest guest.
Or weirdest experience as a guest being in here?
My weirdest experience was when everyone was in on something apart from me. And they made out that they were like fans of the show, and they started screaming in our faces, and then they broke out into song and they knew everything about me.
It was the Taylors.
What on earth? Was that? And then you woke up?
Every single person, even the ones I thought were my friends, knew about it.
Yeah.
Around here.
So it was like a surprise
what
for
was
me.
a surprise?
They were called the
Singing waiters.
They were called the Taylors. They're like secret singers.
Oh, brilliant.
So they go in and surprise.
But they
She had
came
no
in
idea.
high vis because I was told that for the
electrical
last
problems.
week they kept having power cuts and electricians keep storming in. So they literally stormed in as we were filming. And I was like, this guy's so rude. And then he stood there and he's going, oh, sorry, you're filming. Sorry. And I'm just like, just leave. And then he was like, oh my God, is this Wedding Mayhem? Sorry, I just touched your boob.
Okay, got another one.
Right.
Did
And
it again.
And then he
I'm over here.
He was
I'm
like,
safe.
I'm gonna go and he's gonna like put your hat on. And then they just started singing and I was like, and everyone, I was just so confused. And then everyone was in on it.
And you're sitting there going,
And she's still not over it. She was so angry with me. She's like,
There was something else you'd done.
I was with Alex actually on Tuesday night.
You were, weren't you?
We had a bit of a party, yeah. So I wouldn't say the strangest for me. I don't find it strange.
You're a little bit strange.
you are the strangest
in a
people
fabulous
on your
way.
own show.
I'm just trying to think.
I was going to say we are probably the strangest people on our show. But what's for me is it's people come out with people that I know.
They
will
come
out with stuff
on the show.
Come out with stuff.
I just want to come out.
They come out with stuff.
Oh no, that's my partner's worst nightmare.
I don't know about them, and I know these people, and they come up with stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I never knew that. So that's probably my answer to that one. So we do questions from the public.
Yeah,
I've not done one of these. Right, these are basically people that either write in, email, or email the studio with their questions.
Send things by pigeon.
By pigeons.
Pigeons?
Exactly. Let's do a couple of these.
Blimey, that's a big
Sorry, I just did
question.
it. Oh God, I'm dropping the box. There we go. Right. What have we got? There we go. What have you got? You want to do yours?
Okay.
You want to do yours?
This is like a testimonial
he's
to.
going for it.
It's
Oh.
like a this is what is it when you put Trustpilot and they give you a bad review? It's like one of those.
Oh, right.
Oh God,
The
not that, is it?
So you going first.
No, you go.
Oh, okay.
Sharon's a bitch.
So. Ooh, I could just make it up, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love from Lauren.
Yeah. Make sure she knows I wrote it.
So this one's the photographer subbed out our wedding to another photographer and did not tell us. He had got a big corporate event. The style of the photographer was not to our taste and was late, rude and scruffy. It says rude and scruffy on there.
Love that.
Yeah.
I've
from
heard
Kate.
that a few times.
Okay,
I'm glad it's not like I want to go out
this
me or
is coming
something.
up.
This guy
Better
turned up
office.
late. We
Yeah.
thought he wasn't late, and it was in a wedding car, and he was sweating. They're talking about.
Yeah, I mean we're getting this quite
Went to
a
the wrong
lot where they've taken a booking, and then a better booking has come along. This is not just
Where they can
photographers.
make more money.
They can make more money, so then they've subbed it out to
That's
somebody else,
naughty, isn't it?
and then that person's probably had a better offer as well, or they've given it.
There's not people doing that.
Say
sort of thing.
it's like a £1,000 booking.
Yeah.
They'll sub it out. They'll take 500 for themselves, give that to somebody else, and then it gets diluted along the way.
That's not a question either, is it?
No, it's an experience.
It's like, yeah, they're just-
and it's
I mean, the thing is, if you give someone, what do they say about do a good job, you know, but if you do a bad job, that person tells 10 people, don't
Yeah.
they? About that.
Yeah,
And
I know
if you're
what you
online
mean.
now, you can't hide,
you
can you?
cannot
You cannot.
hide.
If you do a
No.
crap job, then that's going to be out there.
Yeah.
I reckon that exact testimonial was on about 50 different sites
Probably,
out there now, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's come from an email by the look of it.
And,
My one,
especially on your day, on your most important day.
yeah.
Mm.
And one of the reasons for doing this is to get people like you to come on and talk about things like this, and so people know that this does happen, and that to choose your people wisely, and that you won't be subbing out.
Yeah,
you will
and
be the
they
person
go,
that
someone who
turn up.
goes the extra mile a little bit. So yeah, so that doesn't
Literally go
happen.
the extra mile.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Henry, you go lots
Yeah,
of miles.
but I know I drive there now.
I have a top tip. Make sure to take nice hat coat hangers for all of the bridal party. Had a Sainsbury hanger on my wedding dress on the day. Love, Helen.
Oh, wow, a lot of
2018
people do that. You
bride.
get special ones now.
It's
Yeah,
like hotels, isn't it? When you turn up and there's 3 hangers in there.
Yeah, but I think
My
people.
Oh, with
girlfriend
that
looks at them and goes,
annoying
"Never mind
thing
then."
as well, where it's the little thing you've got to stab it up. Do you know what I'm on about? Like, just give us a hook. Like, how hard is it? Like, someone must remove them off the hangers to add in the little stubs, mustn't they?
What stubs?
Seriously.
This is- I'm learning something. What are these stubs?
They're on like
You
the
know what
metal.
I'm
Like
about-
towels on the side of kitchens.
No.
No.
They're on the metal ring, and they
look like little nails.
You can't really, the little nails that then hook onto the slider that goes up and down.
You clearly don't hang up your stuff when you go to a hotel.
It's like,
I don't hang my stuff when I go. I literally live out of my
I only go
suitcase.
to hotels that have coat hangers.
What are you going to say then? What have you got?
Mine's a bit.
What studs?
I don't even know if we can answer it.
I mean, what kind of
Who was the biggest bridezilla? It was Gilly Smith. No. No, I don't think.
To be honest, when you
It
say
says-
What
bridezilla,
does that mean?
a bride
Angry-
that
angry
literally
female.
loses the plot.
Yeah,
It's
to
like,
be
oh.
fair, not really.
Not from my-
You get a couple like over the years, definitely rude brides.
Yeah,
To be honest,
it gets
you get
too
rude
much
people
for them.
everywhere.
I think the pressure of the wedding gets too much for them, and
Or
then I
sometimes
think
it goes to their heads and they
Well, you get
think
the opposite there as well. You get the loveliest people that are so relaxed.
yeah, well, they always say
One
it's
of
the
them-
quietest
yeah.
ones. But what we find is, and this is why it's important to, book the right people that will take the pressure. I've had brides pick up the dresses and their phones are going off, and it's so and so sick because they're not turning up now to drive the car. So the photographer is falling out with her boyfriend, so she's not coming.
God.
And these last minute things, and it is pressure.
You need a franc. Remember that?
A
From the
franc,
wedding?
yes.
Franc.
But this is it. You need
You need to
people behind you that are going to be your A team.
Well,
But
people at home wouldn't know that, would they? They wouldn't know
No.
who Frank was.
You
I'm too
know,
old. It's an old film, isn't it?
I've
Where he's
had,
a wedding organiser.
Oh my God, Frank! When he's like Mr.
Yes.
Bugs, we need to talk about the time.
Yes, that's
Sorry,
it.
it's because
Yeah, I love
that's
that.
why me
You
and
got
Mum
the
do
accent.
that. Me and Mum do that
She's
all
delayed.
the time. I
She's-
love it. No, I was reading this and I was like, oh, let me just read
But
it.
I had once. It's quite a funny story, and I am actually really good friends with her to this day. And it's when I first started, so I didn't really have any. I didn't to gauge it of. But she was convinced that the dress was the wrong colour. I've had that's quite common.
Oh, you've told me
Where
this.
a couple of girls, I don't think I've told you this one. A couple
On
of
the
girls,
day.
No. When they come pick the
beforehand.
dress up, and she was just convinced it was, and she went off, and I went, "Look,
you
just go,
told me about the
just
names.
go,
Does it need
go
to
and
be?
get some air, and come back, and because she was really worked up, and she came back because we were doing this in a lunch hour, and she just completely, it's the wrong colour, and I had my sample right next to it, and it was exactly the same. There's nothing wrong with the dress, and she just completely lost the plot and threw her roast chicken at me.
Oh wow! Was this a whole roast chicken?
It's a whole roast chicken.
She's a
She'd been
cave
to
woman or something.
Sainsbury's
She like on a
lovely.
leg
to get her lunch, and literally
chicken.
just got in such a rage that she just it was
roast
insane.
chicken.
The roast chicken.
Wow.
And I call her chicken girl now. She's like, it's
That's just
yeah,
it still reminds
Sophie.
me of that dirty old chicken. You wore your chicken pants the
I
other
did
night,
wear
didn't you?
chicken pants,
Wow.
but she got, there was so much pressure on her,
Yeah.
and she just completely
I guess-
lost the plot, and she went, "Oh my God, I've chucked my chicken at you," and I went, "It's okay, it's fine."
Oh, then she calmed down.
I like
That's right.
chicken.
She needed that.
She
Don't
needed that
worry.
release.
Yeah.
She needed that
every
release.
bride
But we
needs
are
a
still
chicken.
friends to this day, and
So is that a hot tip? Is it always have a roast chicken handy to take?
don't chuck it at the
take-
bridal
Right.
boutique owner.
Yeah.
What
Right,
have we got?
this is just something just to read. Don't you go in and get it? Put it down. Oh,
What,
she's
do you want me
going
to
for
pick
more.
another
We're
one?
having another.
Right.
You've got
Are
another
we
one.
going through the whole
Yeah,
lot?
it's just this.
How many
This
in here?
isn't really like a discussion though.
Am I here all day?
Keep
I
you
might
alive.
want those biscuits now.
Yeah, help yourself to biscuits.
Would you...
This is carnage. My friend's wedding dress.
I said something else.
What?
Would you... What does that... It's like, you can't see the end letter.
Want.
Would you... Yes.
Oh, right. So my friend's wedding dress ended up weighing 15 kg after it poured with rain on her wedding day, and by the end of the day, her shoulders and hips were rubbed raw.
Oh my God.
15
Oh,
kg. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's more than your hand luggage sometimes.
Yeah, that's...
Your hand
I
was
do
just
weights.
10
I
kgs.
do weights. That's
Yeah.
a fair amount to
Yeah.
do. Well, well,
So she's gone out in the rain.
Ended up weighing 15 kg after it poured with rain on her wedding day, and her shoulders and hips were
oh my
ribbed raw.
God.
Rubbed raw.
have a
Rubbed
spe-
raw.
have-
God, that's a tongue twister.
Have a spare dress. Always have a spare dress. Even if you're wearing it just for an
She's
an
not a
hour
person.
while that dries out.
Yeah.
So yeah, backup dress is always a must. You may not need it.
I think that's a top tip for the stag do. Don't give your the groom a ball and chain, metal ball. I went to a friend's. We went to Cardiff, and it was carnage. It was
Was
Guinness.
this a stag do?
Yeah, it was stag do
Yeah,
with my friends.
okay.
Yeah, I wasn't I wasn't doing a drive for someone, and they said, "Do you want to come along because we need the numbers up?"
It was a mate.
Yeah. No, it was a friend who's getting married, yeah, Mark, and they made him wear throughout the whole day a proper ball and chain, and that was something like 5 kg, and he's and it was like, I'm sure it was years after he was still going to the chiropractor.
No.
Yeah, it's because he had to, and he'd go into the bar, and there'd be these lovely bars we'd go into. Well, as lovely as they get in Cardiff. Cardiff's a lovely place. And he just dropped this 5 kilogram steel ball onto the floor as he went in there, because obviously he had a few drinks.
No.
Yeah.
This is like my bride last week. The groom got arrested on his stag do. And he was abroad for a week. It wasn't. It was nothing to do. It was like they were all just a bit raucous and stuff like that. But raucous.
Is that a word?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so. Raucous.
Oh, I've never heard of it. I thought you were trying to say ruckus.
No, ruckus is causing a ruckus.
Yeah,
and raucous
they
is
all
like-
got
Never
arrested,
heard
but
of
they
that.
kept him for a week before he was able to. So thank God it wasn't running up to the wedding. I think they got.
They kept him for a week.
Yeah.
What?
He didn't have his
jail?
he didn't have his passport
Oh,
and stuff
Jesus.
like that. He'd lost his passport, so it was getting the
Wow.
passport.
Oh, that'd be a good story though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
For the,
Can you imagine if you're doing that the week of the wedding?
Yeah.
You're gonna miss it,
miss
aren't
it.
you? Right. Do you want to read yours?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on then. Would you truly want children at your wedding? Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
I
you said
have as
no.
well,
Yeah.
and like nieces and nephews. No, so I'd have to, but only just our immediates, no one else. So I'd literally have my nieces and my nephews and my child or kids, whatever. But other than that, no. And I actually love getting invited to a wedding where there's no kids.
Okay. But on the other hand, so when I've been to weddings, obviously quite a few, so for one, the bride had a baby. That's probably one of the loveliest brides I've met actually. She was so relaxed and they just had such a lovely time. It was nothing, everything was, she was couldn't be more grateful about everything.
Aww.
And she had a baby, and there wasn't in the car when we went to the church, but I found out afterwards.
Yeah. So obviously, how does that work with baby seats and that? If you've got no seatbelts, they can't obviously travel, can they?
Not in the
Yeah.
not in the Rolls.
Yeah.
Well, legally yes, but no, you wouldn't do it.
wouldn't.
Well, you're only going like 30, 35 miles an hour, so it's not. I know I was super careful, but yeah. So the end of it, they had a nanny looking after the baby for the outside.
Yeah.
Most of the time outside the church during the ceremony, who actually couldn't get the bugaboo thing up, the buggy, the pushchair. Yeah, she could spent half an hour doing this. So I was holding.
Oh
the
no,
baby.
you needed to grieve.
I was holding the
things,
baby
yeah.
for half an hour outside the church. I was thinking, what if they come out now? Am I going to be driving with this?
Oh my god! I always find it amazing that people will leave their babies with random people. I was on a train once, and this woman. I was going up to get my marathon number. I was with my friend, and this woman. It was packed, and she needed the toilet, and she just looked at me and went, "Will you look after my baby?" And then went to the toilet. She almost assessed everybody, and I was the shit. And she did, but she was desperate for the loo. But yeah, and I'm like, I could have been anybody.
Oh gosh,
but
she is anybody.
And then kids always love the roller as well. Henry, they love Henry, so they all come along. So that's why I stick around reception wise, because they all come in, they jump in, they sit in the back, they get their photos, they sit at the front with their hat on and everything. So
well, they want chitty bang bang, don't they?
So it's lovely. Yeah. So that they and then it depends. It depends on the wedding, I guess, doesn't it? Depends on if you go on.
Do you have a chitty?
A chitty? I had one this morning, thanks.
I was going to say, did he say
I was waiting for that.
Do I have a chitty?
Chitty bang bang.
Oh, the closest is a Bugatti 35B. Yeah, that's the closest. It is because I do have the Biggles hat.
Yeah.
But I drive that to the shops. I just go down to get milk or something.
I bet you're a bit of a legend in the village, aren't you?
Well, legend is one word for it. I see me driving past these different cars. Some of them will be shouting different words. Under their breath, maybe.
Well, I've got one. Bridesmaids hid their vapes in their bouquets and puffed during the ceremony.
Brilliant.
I knew you'd like that.
Coming from an ex-vaper.
But talk about that.
Couch lifting in the church.
Yeah,
I wouldn't vape in the church, but I'd want it on me.
By the look of it, they
have a deep one before you say yes.
Yeah, but that's what they were doing. Yeah, but
that's funny.
I've had I've actually had a bridesmaid this week who has a she's asthmatic, and I was now asthmatic, and she said, what I'm going to do, because I need my inhaler if I get into it. She has a bit of a panic attack, and I've just said, put it in your bouquet. Yeah. We've had people put their
that's quite clever.
Q-tips and stuff like that, so that's but that's funny.
That's really funny. I love that.
We've got to say goodbye now.
Oh no! I was really enjoying myself.
Fun.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
But can I not sit there and do the next?
You can take my place if you want. I'll go have a little lay down.
So where can we find you? Where can couples find you? Into this camera, into your own camera.
So not that one as well, so they see the side.
No.
So you can find us at manorweddingcars.com. We're near Tame. We're in Lutner, actually, which is just outside Tame. And you can come and see the car, and I'll take you for a little ride up the roads before, if you want to make sure you've got making the right choice. I've done that before.
You can have loads of inquiries now just for a ride.
I never thought about that. No, we don't. We're stopping the rides now.
That's really
executive
good,
decision. This is good when you're
but
in your own business.
That's really good. So you're
not
not just
generous.
You're not just clicking a picture on the internet and hoping that those people are going to turn up.
And what's the car going to like? They could come along and have a little ride down the road.
That's brilliant.
But
I love
they
that.
have to give me a bit of notice, not just
Be
turn
me in
up
a
at
little
the door.
wig.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for coming on.
God bless you.
Thank
We've
you.
absolutely loved it, and we're definitely having you back.
It's been fun.
Perhaps we'll come down and drive some of those cars.
Oh
my
yeah.
God.
I'm having the Biggles.
Definitely. And you're going to both go out, so you get used to the sort of open top VW experience. We have a camper van as well.
I'm not getting in an open top with SHARON.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening in again. Thank you for supporting us. The questions are just flooding in now, so keep them coming. There's some hysterical ones in that box. And we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You can wave.